You have stated that you are a moral anti-realist. You don't believe that morality either exists or that a moral claim seems to carry more weight than any other, and that morality is shaped by a dominant power structure.
Yeah.
Is that your understanding of it?
Yeah, well, I don't believe that morality is a definite and empirical thing that can be ascertained empirically. I don't think humans can make statements on the meta-ethical. So I'm a moral anti-realist because I think that the foundations of our ethical principles have to come fundamentally from subjective presuppositions.
All right. Second part of the question, you have stated in the past that you wish to win above all other things, and that you are willing to either lie, bend the truth, or manipulate optics in order to do so. You have arrived at this claim because in similar conversations you have stated that what you oppose is true evil. Is that your opinion as far as growing the left, that it's kind of a ends justify the means sort of situation? Is there a line for you there?
Ends justifying the means is just an affirmation of utilitarian ethics, which I am. The argument that I'm willing to lie to further my cause is itself a lie. I don't believe that. I think the closest I've ever come to explicitly stating that is simply wondering out loud if honesty is dooming us, because fascists can lie with impunity and they seem to gain strength so much more easily. But I've always believed really strongly in the importance of honesty. If you're dishonest, it makes it impossible to check the ideas of people above you or below you. And fascism can get away with lying because fascism's only aim is to destroy. Destroying is really easy, you know? But picking pieces up and putting them back together requires a pretty strong long-term plan. So I think you have to be honest for that.
Right on. So you would say then that you don't necessarily believe that lying, bending the truth, these sorts of things are okay for us to do for political optics.
Yeah, we shouldn't lie.
Okay.
We have to understand, of course, that the way in which we interpret honesty and dishonesty from others will always be informed by our subjective biases. You know, what is or is not a lie sometimes can be informed by, say, hyperbole. How hyperbolic can you be before it becomes a lie? What is acceptable as a joke? If you joke about something that's not true explicitly, but is true if you're speaking hyperbolically, was that a lie? If that's the case, is any joking at all lying if you're a political figure? I think that the answers to these questions are always going to be subjective in nature, and there's fair discourse within them, but I think it's possible to have answers that are more destructive than others to those questions.
All right. Based off your answer to that question, part 3 kind of doesn't make sense, but I can skip to part 4 because it's
no, wait, I want to hear what part 3 is.
Okay. All right. If this is the case, how can any interlocutor believe you? Unless the only thing they could believe is that you will act in any fashion in order to achieve any goal you subjectively wish for, regardless of its moral weight, and what will seem optically to be a better metric is how well it benefits you personally.
Here's the thing that makes me wonder. How can anyone say that I lie about my politics for optical gain when I'm constantly getting myself into optical trouble because I don't lie about it? I get canceled every 3 days because people ask me questions I have hard opinions on, and I bite the bullet on them. This happens to me dozens of times every year. So, man, if I'm lying to save optical face, then I am doing a horrible job of it. I could have just been a soak dem with edgy USSR tier rhetoric who denied any radicalization and have gotten across these points way more effectively. But tragically,
Right on. Do you want part 4 or?
Hit me, absolutely. Hit me up.
All right. If this is the case, in your conversation with Professor Flowers, why did you challenge her moral claims at all? Shouldn't you not believe or care about them? If your philosophy simply stems from power and its acquisition, shouldn't your only response to her about colonized individuals standing against another faction be, well, have fun and good luck? Have fun storming the castle unless it comes into conflict with my own goals and desires, at which point I will do whatever it takes to stop you.
Well, moral anti-realism isn't the same thing as moral nihilism. Moral anti-realism just means that your moral claims are based on subjective presuppositions, whereas moral nihilism means you legitimately don't believe there's any morality. Or to put it another way, I think our understanding of gender is founded upon subjective presuppositions, but I still think gender exists. I mean, it's a thing, it's a sociological construct that I talk about all the time. So, it reminds me a bit of the conservative argument where people are like, you're talking about race. I thought race isn't real, and they cross their arms. There's a big difference between acknowledging the subjectivity of something and believing it doesn't exist at all. The reason I didn't like what Professor Flowers had to say is because my subjectively determined axiomatic beliefs make me very uncharitable towards advocacy for ethnic cleansing. So I'm willing to die on that hill, you know?
All right, right on. Just so you know what we're getting into there, that is a gentleman who likes Starship Troopers for the reasons that Sargon of God likes that show. Anyway.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, only the best from that community. Anyway,
Yeah,
I hope they probably don't believe a fucking word that I said, because when you're asking people questions like, how do you expect people to believe you when you believe lying is good? Then anything you answer to that is probably not going to land, but yeah.